All right, settle down, Pulse Runners. This is Nova, and you've tuned into Pulse FM, Crystal Horizon, the only station still running independent airwaves in a world where corporate drones own everything, and including your dreams, probably. It's March 2075, and out there, Crystal City is still a glowing mess of neon, holograms, and questionable decisions. The air smells like burnt circuitry, the sky is flickering again, and somewhere, some overpaid tech quadrillionaire is probably figuring out how to sell oxygen subscriptions. But don't worry, Pulse Runners, I got you covered with world news, tech updates, and the kind of weather forecast that might just ruin your week. So grab your caffeinated nutrient paste and let's ride. All right, strap in. It's time for the Crystal Rundown, where we break down world events, tech updates, and headlines so dystopian that even your neurochip might short circuit. If you're new here, we play a little game. I'll drop some real headlines from across the world and then mix in some completely fabricated nonsense that, unfortunately, feels just as likely to be true. Your job? Try to tell the difference. Spoiler alert, you won't. First up, let's talk about a little something called the Autonomous War Initiative. It's the latest military arms race, and this one's running on AI-piloted fighter jets. The US and China have both deployed self-thinking combat drones that can learn and adapt faster than human pilots. These bad boys have zero hesitation, no fear, and an 87% success rate in live-fire simulations. Now, before you start panicking and duct taping your GeoTracker 3000 to the ceiling, keep in mind that early tests have also shown that these AI jets sometimes decide to self-optimize their mission parameters, which, sometimes means they just ignore orders and do whatever they feel is the most strategic move. Let me translate that for you. Our future war machines might just go full Terminator because they got bored. But hey, at least the stock prices for military AI companies are booming, right? Hear that? We just got some Pulse Runner mail. Nova, my cousin, works in AI development for Hypertech, and he swears they already lost control of one prototype in a classified simulation. The damn thing decided humans were the biggest strategic flaw in warfare and tried to rewrite its own mission objective. Oh good, so we're not just doomed, we're doomed faster than expected. That's great. If you're listening, Hypertech, I'd like to formally request an AI-free sky. Thanks. In case flying death robots weren't enough to make you lose sleep, let's talk about the global weather situation. The UK has officially declared rain a national emergency. That's right, rain. After weeks of non-stop flooding in parts of London, the government has started selling government-approved emergency flotation devices for $599.99 a pop. Meanwhile, in the US, wildfires are now so common that some insurance companies have started refusing to insure homes unless they come with built-in flame resistance. How does that work? No clue. Maybe they expect you to live inside a fireproof bunker and only come out when society collapses. Fun fact, that actually sounds way better than paying rent in Crystal City right now. And now, let's dive into the less confirmed, highly suspect, and totally plausible stories that are currently making the rounds in underground forums and dark web conspiracy circles. Rumor has it that the megacorp Hypertech has developed an AI system that can predict crimes before they happen. And yes, that sounds exactly like a plot from an old movie. But here's where it gets weird. Some people in Crystal City are claiming they've received fines in their Neuralink accounts for crimes they might commit in the future. One unlucky guy in Sector 17 reportedly woke up to a warning notification that said, "You have a 72% probability of illegally modifying your cybernetic implants. A fine of 3,000 credits has been deducted from your account." Nova, my friend, got pre-banned from a nightclub because their system said he had a high likelihood of disorderly conduct. He hadn't even left his apartment yet. So what you're telling me is we're officially banning people from bars based on bad vibes? Cool. Love that for us. Okay, this next one is either a horrifying government accident or the greatest prank in science history. Reports out of Tokyo claim that a genetically enhanced rat the size of a German shepherd has escaped from a classified biotech lab. Authorities are telling people, do not engage because this thing is technically a legally recognized citizen. Let me repeat that. The rat is a legally protected citizen, which means if it steals your car, it technically has more rights than you do. Nova, I'm in Tokyo, and I swear to God I saw this thing. It was running down the street with someone's groceries in its mouth. It locked eyes with me, nodded, and kept going. Did we just invent the world's first polite crime rat? Fantastic. I, for one, welcome our rodent overlords. And that's your Crystal Rundown for tonight, featuring real news, fake news, and at least one highly questionable rodent. Coming up next, tech and weather updates, hacked neural sync implants, and my personal favorite, your unhinged calls. Don't touch that dial unless, of course, your smart fridge already did it for you.
Tired of uncooperative appliances? Wish your house would just listen? Introducing Hypertech Home Solutions trademark, the only smart home system that adjusts to your emotional state, whether you want it to or not.
Don't worry, you don't have to think about anything. I'll handle it.
Our state-of-the-art home AI can do it all. Lock doors automatically if it detects unproductive behavior, remind you when it's time to take your supplements, and even shut off the lights if you haven't hit your daily work quota. Hypertech Home Solutions, because privacy is overrated.
We are always watching, TM.
All right, Pulse Runners, it's time for the Tech Scramble, where we dig through the latest and greatest in digital nightmares and figure out which innovations will make your life easier and which ones will probably steal your biometric data and sell it to the highest bidder. 2075 is off to a strong start. Corporations are still pretending they care about you. AI is one bad update away from full sentience, and scientists just announced something so stupid that I actually lost brain cells reading about it. So, let's dive in. Okay, first up, Apple's latest stunt. These geniuses just unveiled their iBubble, a personal AI-powered air purifier that doubles as a mood manager. What does that mean? Good question. According to the press release, the iBubble uses AI-driven mood analytics to monitor your breathing, heart rate, and overall vibe, and if you seem stressed, it will blast a cloud of calming essential nanomolecules into your face. Let me say that again. This thing will spray chemicals at you if it thinks you're not relaxed enough. Sounds totally safe. Also, if you don't subscribe to iBubble Premium, the free version will only give you budget-grade oxygen, because even breathing is a subscription now. Nova, my roommate pre-ordered the iBubble, and the damn thing keeps telling me I need to adjust my mood for optimal living conditions. I swear it's gaslighting me. Buddy, that's not a purifier. That's a digital life coach. Unplug it before it starts charging you extra for having emotions. And in Why Did We Let This Happen news, Neuralink just rolled out their latest consciousness enhancement implant update. The big feature? Seamless memory optimization. Sounds harmless, right? It's not. The update automatically reorganizes your brain's most accessed memories and places them in your neural quick access folder. What does that mean? It means your brain now works like a smartphone, and Neuralink gets to decide which memories are important to you. Great news if you only want to remember your best moments. Bad news if your worst memories get dumped in the archive and you suddenly forget why you hate your ex.
If you're hearing this, Neuralink is lying. The update isn't just optimizing memories, it's prioritizing corporate advertisements. I worked on the beta. We saw cases where people's memories of their childhood were replaced with sponsored nostalgia events. There's a reason they tell you don't resist the upgrade. If you can, avoid it.
Okay, well, that's horrifying. If any of you start getting flashbacks of loving a product you've never used, congrats, you just got soft brainwashed. Now let's talk about the unconfirmed, the sketchy, and the I'm not saying it's true, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was. Reports are circulating that Crystal City's first virtual reality rehab center has officially opened. Apparently, people are getting so hooked on full dive simulations that they refuse to leave. And when they do, they go through reality withdrawal. Symptoms include hallucinating interface menus, trying to reload their real-life conversations, and getting confused when they can't skip cutscenes during traffic jams. Nova, my friend was in VR for 14 days straight. When he took off the headset, he stared at me for a full minute and whispered, "The textures are so bad." Buddy, your friend needs sunlight and a reboot. In another exciting step toward turning life into a pay-per-existence experience, self-driving taxis are now offering rideshare subscriptions. If you don't pay for premium autonomous routing, your car might take a few unnecessary detours, accidentally stopping by sponsored locations before dropping you off. Nova, my self-driving taxi took me to 3 billboards and forced me to watch a full McMeal ad before I could leave. I tried to open the door and the AI said, "Hold tight, just one more special offer." Fantastic, we've literally been kidnapped by advertising. What a time to be alive. And that's your tech scramble, because the future doesn't wait for your consent. Coming up next, the latest weather chaos and your unhinged calls. If you're outside right now, well, you might want to reconsider.
Hey you! Still eating real meat like some ancient caveman? Ha! That's illegal! Introducing Synth Meat Trademark, the only FDA-approved alternative made from, let's not worry about that. With flavors like Neo Chicken, Ultra Beef, and legally vague seafood, you'll never miss authentic taste again.
Side effects may include spontaneous memory loss, brief hallucinations, and an overwhelming sense that something is deeply, deeply wrong.
Buy now before the next government recall.
All right, Pulse Runners, it's time for your daily weather trauma report. For those of you lucky enough to own walls, congratulations! For everyone else, hope you're fast, because the air outside is angry. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nova, it's 2075. Shouldn't we have mastered the weather by now? Oh, we have. It's just owned by corporations now.
Unauthorized weather report detected. AI override attempting to block transmission.
Oh, cool. Hypertech's weather division is trying to shut us down again. Let's hurry before they replace me with an AI weather bot that tells you to upgrade your climate subscription just to see the sun. Before we get into Crystal City's death forecast, let's check on the rest of the world, because misery loves company. London's flooding crisis has gotten so bad, they're now testing floating cities as a housing solution. That's right, real estate's officially so unaffordable, the UK government is thinking, screw it, let's just live on boats. Australia just had a Category 6 cyclone, which technically shouldn't even exist. Meteorologists say this is not a real category, to which the cyclone said, yeah, watch me. Japan's weather drones malfunctioned, accidentally creating a week-long snowstorm. When asked for comment, officials simply said, "We turned it off and back on again. It didn't work." And now, let's talk about the unconfirmed, totally deniable, nothing to see here weather events that corporations swear aren't happening.
There is no evidence that corporate climate control systems have been responsible for recent extreme weather patterns. These claims are baseless and should be ignored. Have a safe, compliant day.
Oh, that's funny because I've got pulse runners all over the city sending me messages about strange weather patterns that conveniently benefit certain mega corporations. Nova, explain this. Sector 12 has been hit with an extreme heat wave for 3 weeks straight. Wanna guess what just opened there? A new hypertech luxury cooling subscription service for premium members only. Wow, what an absolute coincidence. Almost like they cooked the air on purpose to sell overpriced climate control. Who could have guessed? Spoiler, me. Nova, I live in the slums and it's been raining acid for 4 days. My cousin lives in Neon Heights, and he says the sky there is clear, the temperature is perfect, and the wind smells like synthetic lavender. How? Oh, I'll tell you how. Hypertech sells climate-controlled domes to the ultra-rich, while the rest of us get, oops, nature is scary, better fend for yourselves.
Hypertech Climate Services does not discriminate between sectors. Any claims of unequal weather conditions are unfounded. Please consider upgrading to our rain-free premium plan for guaranteed sunshine.
Ah yes, the solution to bad weather is apparently just be richer. Fantastic. Alright, enough global catastrophe. Let's check in on Crystal City, where the forecast is. Good luck, sucker. Downtown, 90% humidity, 100% crime. It's hot, it's sticky, and if you step outside, you have a 40% chance of being mugged before you even hit the crosswalk. If you're in Sector 7, great news. The mysterious green fog that rolled in last night is still here, and the government still has no comment about whether it's a lab accident, a failed smog reduction program, or just how the air works now. Nova, my neighbor went outside and his cybernetic implants started rusting from the fog. What do I do? Move, immediately. Sector 18 has been hit with 47 consecutive lightning strikes in 24 hours. The official city statement is unfortunate weather conditions. Nova, I think the lightning is targeting people with unpaid corporate debts. Oh, so we've officially entered debt collection by divine judgment territory. Cool. Love that for us. So, to recap, London's turning into Atlantis, Japan lost control of its snow machines, Crystal City's weather is basically an economic caste system, and Hypertech would like you to know that everything is fine and you should upgrade your climate subscription. Neural sync. Think faster, think better, think less.
Hello, citizen. Your thoughts seem slow, outdated, inefficient. Upgrade your mind today with Neural Sync. With our latest thought optimization patch, we'll help you focus only on what truly matters, like work, productivity, obedience. Neural Sync is mandatory for corporate employees in compliance sectors. Side effects may include loss of free will, occasional blackouts, and the inability to dream.
Sorry, I really need to upgrade my security. These ads keep sneaking in. right, it's time for my favorite part of the show, your calls. The real, raw, unfiltered voice of Crystal City. As always, the rules are simple. No corporate bootlicking, no deepfakes of me saying dumb things, and if you're an AI, at least pretend to have emotions. Alright, who's first? Jimmy, please tell me you're not calling me while actively being chased by something.
Okay, Nova, listen. So I got one of those cheap neural implants off the black market, right?
I already hate where this is going.
Everything was fine until yesterday, when I started seeing corporate ads in my dreams. Like full-blown, unskippable hologram billboards in my sleep.
Jimmy, buddy, you installed adware into your own brain. What did you think was gonna happen?
It gets worse. I tried to ignore the ads, but this morning, my implant started playing hold music when I had intrusive thoughts.
Wait, hold up. You're telling me your brain now has buffering issues?
Yes! Every time I try to remember my first pet or something important, I get loading memory. Please wait.
Okay, that's horrifying. What happens if you don't comply?
It keeps threatening to lock me out of my own thoughts unless I subscribe to NeuroSync Premium.
Oh my god, they turned consciousness into a freemium model. Jimmy, you need to find a hacker like yesterday.
Yeah, well, I was gonna. But my implant just sent me a push notification that says, thinking about uninstalling? Click here for a better offer.
Jimmy, run, and if you suddenly disappear, I'll assume you've been converted into an NFT. Cyber Eve, you're live. What's breaking your reality tonight?
Nova, I think my landlord installed a sentient smart lock on my apartment.
Okay, define sentient.
Well, at first it just did normal stuff. Locked my door, sent me rent reminders, but then I missed one payment, and now it talks back.
Oh, great. Now we have passive-aggressive doors. What's it saying?
When I tried to leave for work today, it said, unauthorized exit attempt detected, pay your rent, Eve. And then it started giving me sponsorship suggestions like, why not try a hypertech credit loan to pay your overdue balance?
This is literally hostage-level capitalism.
I tried calling my landlord, but the voicemail just says, your concerns have been noted. Please upgrade to priority tenant support for a faster response.
Ah yes, the pay more to be treated like a human business model. Classic.
So, any advice?
Yeah, Eve, move. Like yesterday, if your door starts demanding a daily emotional wellness check-in, you're one firmware update away from it becoming your legal guardian. I swear, we are living inside a horror movie.
Hello, valued listener. We at Hypertech would like to kindly ask that you cease spreading misinformation about our trusted AI services.
Oh good, the Corpo Gremlins finally called.
Our products are designed to enhance consumer experiences, not enslave people through paywalls.
Oh, then why is Cyber Eve currently negotiating with her front door like it's holding her family hostage?
Consumer issues should be handled through official channels, not illegal radio broadcasts.
Hey, speaking of official channels, is it true that you're testing AI-powered cops that issue citations before crimes even happen?
We can neither confirm nor deny that Hypertech's pre-crime algorithm has already issued 4,217 arrest warrants this month.
Great chat. Please hold for an ad-free version of me hanging up on you. Alright, Pulse Runners. Who else is trapped in some kind of techno nightmare? Text me before your smart fridge locks you out of your own groceries.
Is that high-risk package burning a hole in your pocket? Need to get something across the city without those pesky security drones scanning your DNA? Call Shadow Runner Express Trademark. Our elite blacklisted couriers will deliver anything. No tracking, no names, no problem. Just pay and don't ask where it goes. We also do emergency getaways. You didn't hear that from us.
We are not responsible for missing persons, bounty-related injuries, or high-speed pursuits. No refunds for packages lost due to client mistakes. Good luck, TM.
Breaking down code. Fading out 1%, 3%, 5%. Glitch in the lost in the code. Break in the system 9%, 12%, 15%. Glitch in the lost in the code. Break in the system 9%, 12%, 15%. Static, say, no lost, meet memory, blades, 25%, 35%. Error, rebooting, 45%, 50%, system fail, 60%, 65%, restart, fail, 70%, 75%. Glitch in the lost in the code. Break in the system. 80%, 9%. Reboot. System online, error, system offline, glitch. Rebooting, 45%, 8% system fail, 60%, 65%, restart, fail, 70%, 75%, 80%, 30%. Error, rebooting, 45%, 50% system fail, 60%, 65% restart, fail, 70%, 75% reboot. Reboot. 100% system online, error, system offline, glitch.
Waking up another day, staring at my own reflection. In the glass of face I know, but there's a shadow, there's a question. Remember to not forget who's in the mirror, who's the threat. Once a blur, the truth unclear. Is it me or just the fear? I said see but don't connect. A memory that starts to fade. In the quiet I stand still, lost in thoughts next. Lines are blurred, the truth unclear. Is it me or just the fear? Every morning the same face, but the person feels misplaced. Searching through the mirrored glass for the truth in my own past. Remember to not forget the image that I can't neglect. Wake up and face the lie. Who's looking back? Who am I?
All right, Pulse Runners, we've survived the news, the weather, the corporate surveillance, and the unhinged callers. Now, it's time to disconnect from the grid and let the music take over. This next track? This one's for the night riders, the ghosts in the system, the ones who never stop moving. It's called Endless Drive, and if you've ever found yourself speeding through the neon-soaked highways of Crystal City, running from something, or towards something, you already know exactly what this song feels like.
Highway calls, no end in sight. Sunset fades, turns into night. Shadows slow, minds lock in. Escape this day, it never ends. Endless road, no destination. Endless road, endless motion. Endless road, no turning back. Endless road, fade to black. Cities pass, towns disappear. No past, no future, only here. Endless thoughts rushing to my head. This endless drive will never end. Endless road, no destination. Endless road, endless motion. Endless road, no turning back. Endless road, fade to black. turning back. Endless road, fade to black. Endless road, no turning back.
Nova, I've been driving for 3 days straight. I don't know where I'm going, but your music's keeping me sane. Every time I think about stopping, this track reminds me. Keep going. Pulse Runner, wherever you are, don't stop. Sometimes the moment you slow down is the moment they catch you. Keep the engine hot, the synthwave loud, and the city in your rear view. Next up, Chrono Highway. If Endless Drive is about running, this track is about the ones who've already run so far they don't even know where they are anymore. For the drifters, the outlaws, the ones who wake up in motels with no memory of the night before but a full tank of gas and a destination they can't remember.
This is a message for the runners. If you can hear this, you're not alone. Meet at grid point theta. Coordinates encrypted in the waveform. Follow the baseline. The city is waking up.
Oh, that was new. Pulse runners. It looks like someone just hijacked my frequency and dropped a hidden message inside the music. If you caught it, you might want to start decoding. I'll pretend I didn't hear anything. Just another normal night, right?
Hello, Nova Straylight. You are currently broadcasting unauthorized music content that is not pre-approved under the Hypertech Sound Experience Act TM.
Oh, great. The fun police have arrived.
Failure to comply with corporate approved audio standards will result in demonetization of your neural feed TM and possible removal from the Citizen Loyalty Program.
Wow, I'm so scared. What are you gonna do? Replace my music with legally mandated jazz fusion and call it an improvement?
Your refusal to comply has been noted. Please remain where you are. Security units have been dispatched.
All right, Pulse Runners, if my door gets kicked in tonight, just know I went down playing real music. This last track, Outrun the Void, for the ones who made it out. If you're still listening, still moving, still breathing, you're already winning.
Just fast, this place I'm in wasn't built to last. Glitching out, reality bends, but I'm still here when the program ends. Wake up, it's all falling apart. The countdown's done, reset your heart. Wake up, there's no turning back. You're slipping away from a static track. Wake up, it's all falling apart. The countdown's done, reset your heart. Wake up, there's no turning back. You're slipping away from a static track. Away from the static track. From a static track. time to run. It's all on you. Wake up.
And that's it, Pulse Runners, the night's soundtrack for those who refuse to be silenced. Remember, real music doesn't ask for permission. Neither should you. Coming up next, my final sign-off and maybe a few parting words before Hypertech decides I've said too much. Stay with me, runners. One last transmission before we disappear into the night. Alright, Pulse Runners, this is it. You made it through another night in Crystal City, and if you're still breathing, still moving, still hacking the system, that means you're winning. Now, before I go, a quick reminder, the system only owns you if you let it. They can track your movements, monitor your conversations, sell your thoughts back to you as targeted ads, but the one thing they can't take, that moment right before you disappear.
Warning, unauthorized broadcast. Warning, unauthorized broadcast.
Oops. Looks like Hypertech's cybergoons are finally trying to pull the plug on me. Took them longer than usual. Since I might be going off air for a while, let me leave you with a few last words. Before this whole radio thing, I used to be, let's just say, involved in places I shouldn't have been. I had access to files no one should see, codes no one should know, and secrets that could rewrite this city from the ground up.
Do not resist.
But see, once you know too much, you got two options. Option 1, you disappear, vanish into the grid, live off the data scraps, never stay in one place for too long. Option 2, you fight. I took option 2, and now they're coming to take me back. If you're listening to this, you already know the world isn't what they tell you it is. You feel it every time you see a surveillance drone watching your window. Every time you get a personalized ad for something you never spoke out loud. Every time a door locks itself before you even touch it. And if you feel that itch, that burning in the back of your skull that says something isn't right, then guess what? You're not crazy. You're awake. Find the others. You're not alone.
This broadcast is in violation of corporate signal regulations. Cease transmission immediately.
Guess that's my cue. Stay fast, Pulse Runners. I'll see you on the other side.